Hello and welcome back to the LCS for the game show you need every July 11th. Consult your doctor. That's just a medical fact. It's Jeopardy Dash. I'm your host, Dash. And here are my wonderful guests. First up, it's Barento Raz Muhammad. He's a former Golden Guardians Academy coach who has a penchant for boba tea. And then, of course, we have the unmatched Emily Rand, author of the latest edition of 10 Thoughts, and quite the chef if you follow her cooking journey on Twitter. Finally, it's Kaizen Asian. Kaizen is known for his questionable fandoms and happens to start his mornings with a passage from the Daily Stoic to get his mind right. We'll see if that's enough to be conquering minds in today's games. The rules here are very simple. We've got 3 categories with questions of varying point values. One of you will pick a square, and the fastest buzzer fingers will get a chance to answer. Raz?
Jesus. Oh, you said fast buzzer finger.
Yeah, no, I did say that. That does not mean hit the button, okay? I'm gonna hit reset, and you put it down. Reset, there it is. Okay, they will have a chance to answer. You screw up that chance, your opponents will get a chance to steal. The winner chooses the next category, and at the end of it all, the person with the most points is going to take on the win. Of course, today's Jeopardy Dash, as you can see here, is related to our next matchup. We've got FlyQuest, we've got Immortals, and then we've got general LCS questions. Okay. The first one who can tell me what my birthday month is gets to go first.
July.
Wrong. Anyone else want to give it a shot?
February.
And also wrong.
Month of love.
Wow, I really thought my my coworkers knew me.
I wished you had
I thought my coworkers knew me.
May.
Also wrong. Okay,
Damn.
well then I'm just gonna
the first
go.
time you invite me to your birthday party, then I'll
Wait, June.
No, still wrong. It's April. But all right, Kaizen, I'm going with you first because you at least jumped in there. You
Okay.
had some vigor, and I like that. All right. So on the board, what are you going with?
Let's start big. LCS 1000.
LCS
Whoa.
1000. That's what he wants to go. Let's take a look at what we got here. It is.
Woo!
We're starting off with a banger
All
right here.
right.
So instead of 1,000 points, this is now worth 2,000 points. And here is the question. I need you to name 5 players in the top 2 positions of their category for our Samsung SSD Fast 5. I'm gonna need 5 total player names. Kaizen's the first to buzz in.
Get it wrong.
Hit me with them. You gotta get 5 out of the 10.
Okay. Impact. Abadaga. Sven. No, sorry. FBI. For jungle. Closer. And then I need support.
He's gonna get this wrong.
No. Huhi. No!
Incorrect, my friend. Incorrect.
No!
All right, the reset comes through. The next one to hit the button gets to go.
I'm trying to think of.
What are y'all waiting for?
Raz, you don't even want it? Okay,
Right.
let's get it in there.
I'm gonna go
5 out of 10.
triple. Contracts. Alfari. Huhi. FBI.
Incorrect.
Yikes.
I was
And
going
Raz,
for small sample
you don't need to hit the
size.
button. I know you want to. You don't have to.
Okay.
Hit me with 5 players. Out of the 10 across top 2 positions.
Triple Palafox. Can I do it within the same position?
They could be. You could get the top 2 mids, the top 2
Okay.
junglers, and one of another
Excellent.
category.
Triple Palafox.
Mm-hmm.
And then for top lane, I'll do Solo. I'm pretty sure he's still there. I cheated. I remember I saw that list.
Wait, what? Hold up.
First of all, I'm gonna point this out because he's not wrong. We did look at the list yesterday in our story meeting. It was also linked and pinged to each and every one of you.
True.
In the Slack channel this morning.
Yikes, Emily.
Now we know who's
Good
doing their homework.
Yikes.
All right, Raz, you got 3. Palafox triple, you went for Solo. I need 2 more names from you.
This man's taking like an hour.
Yeah, you
Okay,
gotta
I'll
get
go
him in.
quick. I'll go quick.
Gotta get him in.
Diamond
And?
Damn, I don't remember.
Doesn't matter, you're
Liquid.
incorrect
Yeah,
anyway, my friend. Let's take a look at the list.
See.
The correct answers would have been Jenkins, Solo, Blabber, Speak Up, Perks, Triple,
Wow.
Tactical, Raze, Destiny, and Core JJ. So each and every one of you got a couple correct,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
threw in a
okay.
couple incorrect answers. That is the most difficult, by
cares
far and
about
away
stats
most
anyways,
difficult
am I right?
question
Okay.
out here
Yes.
today. 0 points across the board. It goes back to Kaizen because no one took control away from you. Where are you going?
Let's make it a little easier. LCS
Okay.
for 500.
LCS for 500. I like it. We're sticking in the same category. Here is the question. Which game had the biggest comeback this weekend? Was it A, You can buzz in anytime. Was it A, FlyQuest versus Cloud9, B, EG versus Immortals, C, Team Liquid versus Immortals, or D, FlyQuest versus CLG? Biggest comeback this weekend.
Ooh.
All right, Raz is in there. He wants to take a shot.
Evil Geniuses versus IMT.
Okay.
I remember that one.
You are correct, sir, for 500 points.
I casted that game.
Yes, you
I
did.
know my
Oh,
work.
there we go.
Where's the audio? I want to hear my great commentary on this one.
EG versus Immortals. Do you remember what the goal deficit was?
It was like
out
4K.
5.2,
There it
even
is.
more so, even more so. This was a game that we were very much saying was going to go the way of Immortals, and Evil Geniuses found a way back in it.
Yeah, that was a red side jungle fight. That was horrific. Lulu got caught. That was one option. That was one option. Also, Diana pick on towards Insanity in the bot lane. There were a few instances that happened.
We have a point leader. It's Raz.
Let's go!
It's Raz at 500. That also means for the first time in this game, he gets to choose where we go next. Raz, where are you going to go? We got FlyQuest. We got Immortals.
You know what? IMT did me no wrong. I got points off the back of them, so I'm going to
Okay.
go 500 points once again.
Starting it off nice and smooth. I like it with Immortals 500. Here's your question. Immortals started summer undefeated after week 1. Xerxes picked up MasterCard Player of the Week with 2 games of Rumble.
Oh.
And what other champion? Emily has buzzed in. What other champion was it? Was it Udyr, Viego, Xin Zhao, or Gragas? 2 games of Rumble and 1 game of another.
I'm gonna go Gragas.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
1 sec!
Wait!
There it is.
He got
He
cheated!
He got
He can't do that! He was camping the button!
He just assaulted the host.
Wow.
Get this man out of here.
Look, I know you're used to running the game show, Raz, but this one is
Dueling
mine.
game.
All right, Kaizen,
Look, hey,
what's
that's-
the answer?
Emotion gets the
Zhao.
best of me.
Xin Zhao.
Yeah.
Don't give it to him.
Incorrect.
What?
I was going to say Xin Zhao.
Oh!
Yes!
No!
He has a
Udyr.
50-50 shot.
Udyr is correct.
That ain't right.
Go!
That ain't right.
So
Thank
here's
you.
the thing.
Thank you.
Producers just told me you don't get any points for that.
What?
Whoa!
I don't know why.
Probably
What?
'cause you
Look,
insulted
man, the
host.
voice of God just said no points, and I guess that's because it was a 50-50.
Double team.
Yeah.
So,
Emotional, come on,
a bummer.
guys.
A bummer for you. Especially since you admitted you were going to take Xin Zhao.
Yeah, look, you gotta give me the points.
No, we're going to give it to you. It's
Thank
the correct
you.
answer. Okay, 1,000 points for Raz. He still has control. Where are we going next?
IMT, I got you.
He's sticking with them
yeah,
for
right.
1,000 here. Your question, which team did Raze and Destiny previously play on together? Anyone? Okay, Raz wants it.
I remember them being on Direwolves. Actually, they went to war. Oh, wait. No, I'm changing it up. I'm changing it up.
Lock it in. Give me something or you're going to lose. You're going to lose out. 3, 2, 1.
Chiefs.
He
Damn it, I
swaps
watched
to the,
those
he
reasons.
swaps to the correct answer at the very last moment. That's another
Damn.
1,000 points right there,
Because
Raz.
Destiny's been around a few teams, but Ray specifically was on Chiefs, so that one got me. I was,
Hey, you are you.
I'm the
you,
king!
you snaked.
I know.
You
I'm the
snaked
king!
those
Emily, we
points
need to-
that
we need to
time
step it
around.
up.
I know. We
I
should
am a
band
king.
together.
I got
Take
bad
down
news
Raz.
for the 2 of you. He's already got 2,000 points to
Yeah,
his name. There's
and
only
we can't-
1,500
Give me a
points
daily
left on
double
the
dash.
board.
Yeah,
so
where's
at
the
this
other double
point,
dash?
we already
There's
had
just
our
2 of
double
them.
dash. Raz, where do you want to go next? You swimming in the money?
I'm swimming in cash.
There it is.
Points. FlyQuest 500.
FlyQuest 500. All right, let's see what we got there for FlyQuest. For 500 points, how many international appearances has Triple had? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Razzly.
I feel like these are all Osh questions.
Yeah, I don't know
and
about this. This
We
feels a
have
little
a
stacked.
person on the desk who is a little
hosted
bit
Oceania. I casted Oceania.
Come on, this
All right, Raz.
Go ahead, Raz.
What are we thinking?
I think 2 times. Direwolves, he was there for a few times.
Okay, you locking it in?
I'm locking it in.
Incorrect, my friend. Resetting the buttons.
3.
Kaizen. That is correct, sir. 3 gets it in there for 500
On the board.
points.
A triple for triple cheese.
Snaked into second
Fine.
place. We've only got one category left, and that's FlyQuest for 1,000. Let's dive right in. How much money has FlyQuest raised this split for Sunny Quest? Is
Oh
it
my
A,
God.
$4,774, B, $3,896, C, $6,422, or D, is it elite? Oh, I didn't reset the buttons. I'm so sorry.
Yes! Yes!
Do you know what it is?
Wait, what?
Go
I got
big.
robbed.
You did
Let's
get
go big. See?
robbed.
$6,422.
Okay.
incorrect.
Good. That's justice.
Reset.
It's an A.
You have to hit the button. Oh, you did get it in.
Okay.
You're going A?
A.
$4,774. That is correct, my friend, for another 1,000 points. Right there, it is $1 per kill, $10 per Ocean Drake, and $100 per win. Across both their LCS and Academy teams, they have raised $4,774. Another great cause. FlyQuest doing amazing work. Raz, though.
You know how many points that is?
Raz, though, that's only 1,000 points, which brings him up to 1,500. Raz, do you know how many you got?
Almost as much as FlyQuest, and they raised.
Almost.
Almost.
About half. 2,000 points to Raz, and he is the champion, the first ever champion of Jeopardy!
Let's
There
go.
it is. How does it feel?
It feels good, Dad. It feels good. It feels wonderful.
All righty, with one winner here on Jeopardy! It's time to find out who will be our
we got
victorious
robbed.
team as FlyQuest faces off against Immortals. We're sending it over to Flowers and Azale for the call. This
want a redo.
got out of control.
Oh, man.
We're gonna sort this out.
Welcome back, everybody. Raz, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but you look like you're having a good time, man. How about you, Azale? You having a good time?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're having as good of a time as Raz.
No, I
The
don't
man
think- I don't
seems
think
to just
so.
be completely.
He's high on life.
Yeah, he's in his own world right about now, and Planet Raz just seems to be thriving. But right now, we're about to jump into our next matchup of the day here. Game number 1 sort of set the pace of things, and I'm hoping we get to continue that.
Oh, I absolutely am hoping for that. It's going to be a tough one to match, though, as that last game was insane. FlyQuest, I keep calling them FlyQuest Academy. Maybe we should just call them the new FlyQuest, whatever it is. I mean, it was their previous Academy roster swapped into LCS. They have been exciting to watch. They've been playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of aggression.
Yeah.
And it does just straight up seem to be a better lineup for them than what they had previously had as their full LCS lineup. And it feels like they're just more confident. They work better together. So I'm excited to see that continued development from them. IMT started out this split pretty hot. They have been cooling off a bit, but we'll see if they can get back to their winning ways here against FlyQuest.
All right, let's see what the draft will look like for us then. Diana and Gwen banned away by the side of FlyQuest as Xin Zhao and Lucian are taken off the table here by Immortals.
Yeah, the Ziggs ban as well has
After
been getting
game one,
a lot
how
of
can you
priority.
not?
Yeah, and also we know Insanity likes to play it. Immortals are a team that has brought that out even previously, so makes sense as a ban. And it's interesting that more teams are just banning out Diana now. It had been getting through pick bans so often, and it kind of felt weird to me because Xin is like perma-banned, and Diana and Xin to me were the top two.
Like, that's the
right?
S tier, right?
Exactly. And usually when it is kind of that one tier, it gets fully removed or both are left up for a trade, but it's kind of been the situation where Diana was going over, Xin is banned out, so you don't really have anything to kind of match the jungle power of that. With both removed from the table, you can kind of go down a tier, and we'll see where they will end up as far as that goes.
Well, we got Viego here as the first pick of the entire draft for FlyQuest. Immortals responding by locking in Akali and Thresh as their first 2 picks.
Yeah, the Thresh grab feels like you're trying to deny the Thresh combo with some of these hyper carries that people are really, really liking. You know, namely Thresh and Felios is a popular one. So you take that away if you feel that that is the more important part of the duo. Varus coming through here would be a good answer to Aphelios if that's actually what comes out. The ability to poke, the laning power there can be quite high. Akali, of course, really high priority in pro, something that can be flexed to both top and mid, and scales incredibly well into the later stages of the game.
Okay, we're hovering over a couple of different things.
I'm not
here.
buying what you're
FlyQuest.
selling.
No, I'm not. This seems like a scam. They're calling me about my car's extended warranty, and quite frankly, I don't have a car. Anyway, Lee Sin's locked in instead, and this is a pick that's much more believable. We've seen a lot of play of this champion in multiple roles throughout this season.
Absolutely. Ornn, while not super popular these days, can get some play now with Anathema's Chains. It's becoming more popular, but I think Aphelios, pretty clear that is going to be the pairing with the Thresh. It felt like the more important part of the takeaway. when they did grab that Thresh early. You have to go for a strong pairing. And now I think it's going to be about banning out some of the strong support combos with the Varus. They've taken away the Nautilus. They want to protect this lane, make sure that they are playing from an advantage.
Yep.
FlyQuest has multiple ways to play this, though. Of course, there are pairings. Things like the Nautilus plus Varus have a lot of lockdown, the ability to hold someone in place to hit those piercing arrows. But you can go for more of the poke style lanes, too. I wouldn't be shocked to see that. Of course, there is inherent risk when you're going up with something like an Enchanter against a Thresh. If you get hit by that hook, you can be in trouble.
Yep, and I also like banning away the Nautilus when you have a Kali on your team.
Yeah.
Just because as soon as she shows up once, Depth Charge can track her through the smoke. Now she's up in the air. You can dredge line the same spot in the smoke. Lots of good answers from him to that champion as
Absolutely.
well. So really like that ban here. LeBlanc will be the final ban of the draft here for Immortals. Camille banned out by FlyQuest here. Jace as well, targeting those top lane picks, saying we don't think Revenge is going to play the Akali. We think that's for Insanity instead. We got to take some more options off the table from top.
And this is the kind of stuff that Revenge really likes to play. If you watch a lot of him play in solo queue, he's very keen on these split push AD champions that can bully lane, that can take over games. It's his kind of bread and butter. Volibear coming through here for Xerxes. Strong pick in the meta these days. Pretty much everyone feels like they're going for a Divine Sunder. Zonia is really popular as one of those later options to kind of give you some of that survivability. Exactly. And it is something similar to kind of some of the strategies that we saw bringing out from Team Liquid. It's a champion that not only is strong early and has good coordination with the Thresh, but it's also a champion that's difficult to fight past to actually reach the Aphelios, who you want to get back towards. Zerk coming through here for triple. Some late game scaling secured if you have poke Varus. He is lower as far as the DPS. He is more about the upfront damage. This kind of secures that consistent damage, and it is going to be Blitz as the pairing here with the Varus. Blitz as an answer to the Thresh is something that a lot of people had been seeing as one of these counter picks. If Thresh goes for the hook, you can actually do your hook immediately
Pull him in
there.
the channel.
Pull him in during the channel, knock him up, and potentially burst him down there. Will be interesting to see how effective he is going to be. The ultimate AoE also pretty much covers the entire Shroud for Akali, something that can be fairly effective at actually disrupting some of the combos, silencing her so she can't follow through with the spells that she is looking to do.
Especially disrupting that R2 when she's waiting for the perfect moment to hit multiple targets. That half-second silence can be all you need.
Sylas, though, people always talk about Sylas as a pairing with Alistar. Taking away that support ultimate, the Blitz ultimate is actually nasty, because it has a really strong AP ratios.
The ratio's huge. It's like 1, isn't it?
It's very, very high. And AP Blitz is a meme, so no one really sees that in Summoner's Rift. But Sylas, this is one of the things that people don't really think about a lot because you just don't see Blitz that often. But Sylas, with the Blitzcrank, it's so good. Pretty much every single time you're going to fight, you can steal this ultimate, and then you have a massive AoE silence yourself that has an incredibly strong ratio on it, and that can be devastating. I will say, the other ultimates to steal aren't actually that good, so it's mostly about the Blitz, but you can have strong side laning. He can work pretty well into this comp, and honestly, you don't really need more than the Blitz as long as you can get access to him for the team fight every time.
That's what I was going to say. As long as the fights are spaced out enough that that cooldown doesn't
The
stop
cooldown
you.
is like nothing.
I mean,
You're always going to have it.
As long as Sylas can just drop that nuclear warhead Blitzcrank ultimate in every fight, it doesn't matter if the other four aren't that great, right? You go in, your ultimate hits the entire enemy team for 1,000 damage. Oh, darn. I guess I'm stuck with that.
Unfortunate. It's one of those things, man. Some of the supports have crazy AP ratios because they don't really have the ability to actually access a lot of AP. Leona is another one that we've seen some comically big solar flares coming through.
Laser.
Yeah. Control, Alt, Delete.
All right, let's see if he can make it happen here. Immortals and FlyQuest out onto the Rift. Oh, FlyQuest grouped up as 5. I'm expecting something cheeky here, my friend. Let's see where they decide to take it.
Yep, it's going to be up towards top side. So this is an invade path that I've seen before, where usually you try to kind of wrap around the bot side. You try to come in here with Kumo and really look to punish someone who is in Tribrush. Revenge is playing super far back, so it's unlikely he will be caught here. But if you are over in this brush, it can be very, very difficult. I think at most you force the shuriken flip, but they're not even going to get that. So good defensive play from Revenge. But this is something that can actually be very effective because, you know, if you are kind of sat here, one player comes in from the bottom to push in, the others wrap around here, and you kind of escort this guy up into your 4-man squad that is coming down from here. It's a really effective invade. Not a lot of solo queue players play around it at all. It's something that I really like to do in solo queue as well. if you can get your team to listen to you and actually come out of the base quickly at level 1, if they're not AFK, getting some chips.
Hey, I don't do it every game. Also, I'll have you know that my invade
I like how you
ratio...
took that as an attack on you. I didn't even mean you.
Well, to
but
be fair...
that gives you away. You're
to
caught
be fair,
red-handed.
I have about probably a 500% better invade success ratio when you're on my team because you actually tell us how to do it right. Whereas me and all my friends, we're just like, hey guys, you want to run into
Let's
the
run
bush?
to the tower and fight.
Proper invades are a very nice thing to see in League of
They are,
Legends.
man. You get so many free kills. People are so lazy about level 1s in solo queue.
And of course, FlyQuest, it didn't pan out for them this time. They didn't really get any value out of it, but they didn't lose anything by trying either, right? It's just a freebie. So let's go ahead and see how things shake out here. We got Viego and Akali in the top lane, and to me, that just seems so incredibly volatile. Both of these champions can take over a game from ahead, and I'm curious to see how much focus the junglers are going to give them.
I'm always just really excited in general when I see Blitz too, because this is a champion that you need to have confidence to play.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You are so insanely worthless if you are not hitting your abilities, but they're going in for the fight.
He gets the knock up immediately, and Destiny is in some trouble. You said you wanted to see some confidence. Well, there you go. Get a bonus flash while you're at it.
Nice. They didn't even need the hook to get the first blood there. They were about to hit level 2, just marching on up onto Destiny, knocking him down. I think his Aftershock may have been on cooldown. You know that earlier Flay trade that we saw?
Yeah.
The Aftershock could have been on cooldown, so I actually want to see, does it trigger here? Because they go in straight. I don't see any Aftershock on Thresh. That's exactly what they're playing around.
Yeah, there's no green on him.
That is just smart stuff. That is just good League of Legends there from the FlyQuest bottom lane.
Good League of Legends. That's
Me too.
fantastic.
And punishing that is so big because Aftershock is really largely what you're relying on, and now FlyQuest looking to threaten a dive here on the top side. I don't think you can make it happen here. If this guy's Shroud available, it's going to fail. But they want to at least threaten. NXI is trying to see, can he find an angle here to go? They do have the E for reveal, but this is risky business.
They're trying to time this properly. Revenge taking a lot of damage here. Kumo
Nicely
tanks
done.
the turret long enough to make sure there's no trade. They kill the Akali, they get the Ignite, and they get out.
Yeah, I mean, they hit everything there. Kumo hits the W stun. That guaranteed NXI's Q coming through. Kumo tanks up the appropriate amount of tower shots. Diving Akali can be so risky there because this champion is such a monster from ahead. If that goes bad and he has Ignite, like, that could be lights out. But they executed it properly. Love the confidence to go for it there. Things can definitely go bad when you're going for those types of plays. But FlyQuest, kill on the bot side, kill on the top side. Summoner's forced out here. Kumo does use his TP back to try to keep the pressure on. So we'll see if he can continue pushing. But on that bot side, because the kill went to Blitz, it actually hasn't resulted in really any sort of a lane advantage. They did get an earlier base and they grabbed the tier, so that's nice for Tomo, but that's not laning power, right? It's a little bit of extra poke. You can see the Aphelios actually is quite a bit up in farm. This will even out, but Aphelios is actually going to get a better buy than the Varus, so they will have to continue to actually punish and try to make use of the fact that Aphelios is down flash, because as far as what they're going to walk back to lane with, Aphelios is chilling. Like, they didn't actually get a lane advantage from this.
He's got 2 long swords and a Dorian's Blade compared to 1 long sword.
Blitzcrank has a Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, Blitzcrank's got
Lane's
150
over.
extra health. Oh no. Anyway, back in mid lane, Insanity's got the priority here as well. Triple will continue to have a very slight CS lead after he farms up these minions. There shouldn't be too much difficulty in picking those up. There you go. Good use of the soldiers there to make sure that happens. FlyQuest is up 1,000 gold, despite the fact that the lead didn't exactly translate to a lane advantage for the kill in bottom lane for Tomo specifically. The team overall is sitting in a really nice spot.
Absolutely. You can see, though, double longsword buy here for Raze. So FlyQuest wants to push out, wants to be able to reset, spend the gold that's now going to be in the pockets here of Tomo, and it's just going to be kind of this continuation of the play.
Yeah.
Immortals has to play defensive. They're sitting very far back. They know that there is a bit of a target on their backs. With no flash on Raze, with Lantern on cooldown, you don't have eyes on Lee Sin. They have some vision, but they have no aggressive vision, right? It's you know, it's these wards right kind of right in this area, and they have nothing beyond that. You know, nothing into the enemy jungle. So Lee Sin would be spotted if he comes through river, but instead he will just be starting up this dragon. We'll see if Xerxes can spot this out here as he's heading down towards that river. But it looks like he's heading straight towards bot, so he's actually going to be not seeing this. And FlyQuest may be playing more aggressively because they think they have coverage.
Okay, Immortals is going in, Tomo's going down, Raze is getting paid, and Immortals find themselves the play.
This is kind of interesting. It's like, is that still good for them? I mean, if the dragon for a kill, probably not because Raze got the kill. if that kill went on Thresh or something, I think you'd actually be kind of okay with it. The fact that you did get that early dragon, but kind of give him the false sense of security. They look for the dive, though.
Oh, boy! Insanity with the flash out towards the tier 2, staying alive.
Uh-oh.
Triple? Whoops. Okay.
Well, it is the execute, so it's actually not that big of a deal. You know, there is some experience and stuff given over, but it's not the kill gold, at least to Insanity. Maybe there's an argument to actually just like, because the wave's pushed in, to save your flash. I'm not sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's probably a miscalculation, to be honest with you. But either way, they do get
Not
the
ideal.
flash out of Insanity. It is just an execute, so it's really not a big deal. He's up in farm. The wave was pushed in. He's going to lose a couple minions, but really doesn't matter at the end of the day. The continuation, though, on that bottom side, because it was a kill over to Raze, he's in a pretty good spot. And I want to see NXI get down to there, play with this Blitz, because Blitz does not play well in passive lanes.
Or we could just see NXI just get ready to kick Akali around right back into the brush, set it up for Viego with the slam dunk.
Nicely done, getting the kill there. You can see Diamond over the wall here, trying to play in fog, trying to make them wonder, you know, is he here? Is he roaming? Can he look for some sort of a play?
Yeah.
With NXI showing on the top side, though, you're not really sweating it, honestly, as Immortals. As long as you're playing behind minions, you're kind of chilling. So
Right.
it's going to be about the poke from Tomo. It's going to be about trying to whittle them down, set it up. But when Aphelios is on Red Gun, he's not really too concerned about the poke whatsoever. He has the early attacks.
Red
He the
white
Berserker
at
Greaves.
that, right?
Exactly.
Like,
and I mean, just the sustain from the red, right? You can just shrug off pretty much all the poke early game.
All right, so Raze is just perfectly fine down here. That kill, as you already pointed out, doing a lot to make sure that he doesn't feel like this lane is in any sort of a rough state at all. Immortals overall, still down about 1,500 gold. A pretty big CS advantage mounting up here in top lane. With Revenge having already been killed twice thanks to jungle attention from NXI, he's down almost 4 waves worth of farm. That'll shrink down to 3, maybe 2.5 if he can pick up most of this as it collides into the turret. But really good stuff here, setting up Kumo for success on Viego.
Absolutely. NXI has done a great job. You know, repeat ganking the same lane can be so effective. You're taxing the resources. You're really expanding that advantage. It's often very easy to actually recover from the first mistake or the first death or gank on the top side because you have teleport, right? It's the subsequent ones that really do punish you when you die without teleport, when you are just sitting with the gray screen, watching minions die to the turret. That is
so bad.
So sad.
Oh, it feels so bad. Which again reminds me of the games that you and I played together after you get focus dove after the 4th time. You're like, wow, I could really use some help up here. Your patience continues to impress me, my friend.
Oh, you know. You make up for it in other ways.
Well, FlyQuest is loving how things are going here early on so far in this game. They got that first Drake. And again, I liked how NXI made sure he walked all the way into the pit. That's one thing that I think people underestimate just how useful it can be because it made it so Immortals was not able to see what was going on there. But Kumo up here in top lane again, forcing Revenge back. He doesn't even need to help this time as Triple's going in, looking to shuffle Insanity away. He will manage to fall back in time. Insanity has that stolen Emperor's Divide. We'll see if he can make a play with that.
Yep, just trying to take this Rift Herald right now. They have top lane Prio very heavily. No chance of Revenge fighting past Kumo to get over there, so it's just going to be given up. And because they already grabbed the first dragon on the bottom side, there's no counterplay really for Xerxes to make. He could potentially look for some sort of invade, but that itself is risky with your bot lane back in base. Kumo, did he miss the first plate? I think he actually might have. I didn't quite catch if he was in range for that.
Did not see either.
Either way, we'll be able to cash in on the second, and because Revenge was pushed back, when you see Rift Herald go down and you're losing top lane, you are always worried about that guy showing up top and then diving you. So he had to back off. He did reset, but it means he's down 20 CS. You know, over that now, he will collect some of this farm and kind of even it out a bit, but it's going to be about that 20 CS advantage, which is just huge. Honestly, at this point in the game for Kumo, NXI is very rich, and with 2 plates already whittled down from that tower, you know that Rift Herald gets dropped top, the tower is just gone. So it's going to get worse before it gets better for Revenge.
And I like the fact that Kumo is going for the Divine Sunderer as opposed to like Blade of the Ruined King like we saw in the previous game. Just because having the extra health on the item, right, will make it harder for Akali to be able to one-shot you. We know how scary this champion is, particularly with an Ignite. So just having that to avoid sort of that comeback opportunity for his opponent, I'm a fan of it. And you've also got Gore Drinker up and running here on NXI's Lee Sin. So he's ready to make some plays. He's ready to be able to dive in the middle of everybody. And we'll see where he wants to go next. There's a lot of vision placed by Immortals in the red side jungle of FlyQuest. So they're going to see as Blitzcrank is walking around, as he's trying to make these rotations, they will be aware of that information. And Triple continues building up a nice CS lead for himself here in the mid lane.
Race with the early Vamp Scepter kind of makes me think he might just be going towards a shield bow early. Diamond looking for a play.
Okay, he pulls in Xerxes, and now they're just going to kick him back. There's no way out. He can't even ult in time. Tomo's here in the fight off to the side, making sure they can't have any sort of another way back in. And despite the fact that both top laners teleport in, there will be no further combat.
Man, that's like one of those situations, you know, where they're trying to put out the fire and everyone's tossing buckets to each other down the line. It's like, all right, I got the bear. Here he goes. Over to you.
Just yeet him on over there and kill him before he can even press R. Now back in the mid lane, this is where they're going to use the Rift Herald. This is such a high value charge. You get all the plate value. You take out mid lane tier 1. Beautifully done from FlyQuest.
Some of these bottom teams are just completely recreating themselves.
I love it.
FlyQuest,
honestly, I love it.
It's really rare. You know, people talk about a win-win. And a lot of times when you're talking about a win-win with a trade, you're like, someone lost. You know, let's be honest here. You're just kind of trying to spin it. Oh,
well, speaking, nope, Tomo might just be able to get away here. A nice pull from Diamond, looking to save him or at least find a return kill. Xerxes at about 400 HP, he jumps in. Nice stun and a triple there for the immediate follow-up punish. The timing from Xerxes, perfect.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. Xerxes dunk and triple as he arrives. The Azir flank kind of threatening.
This is not the greatest game so far from Triple after the execution in mid and the teleport bottom, so some errors being made there. Revenge now under threat here of another turret dive. Kumo and an XI trying to get away. Insanity will not find the stun. A little bit more damage coming out. Spectral Maw does not collide there for the extra CC. FlyQuest will disengage. They won't get the kill, and critically, Revenge is able to survive the dive this time.
Yep, he does survive the dive, but again, no teleport. He's low on health. He has no ulti, he has no ignite, so he's got to go back to base, right? And yes, you do have the answer here. We can see this play one more time. Nice play there from Tomo. The flash forward, the stun, he cleanses it to sidestep the hook, but he does not have the damage to finish them off. And then, I mean, just look at this. You're TPing into the Thresh box. You get dunked immediately by the bear. That alone was most of his health. He doesn't have a lot of HP built up at this point in the game.
Here.
I mean, that is a risky teleport to make, but yeah, to go back to what I was touching on, I mean, honestly, FlyQuest and Golden Guardians both seem to have legitimately won out from this trade. FlyQuest looks way better without their old roster, and Golden Guardians is looking way better with the new roster for them. You know, Licorice is looking better on their team. It's nice to see FlyQuest playing aggressively, playing proactively. Both teams obviously still make mistakes, but they are improving and they're heading in the right direction here. Immortals, though, getting something back on that bottom side is, in fact, the shield bow, so a very defensive build from Raze. My read on this is you're outranged by Azir, it's Combat Azir, and it's also Lethality Varus. So you will get poked a lot as you step forward, even if it's just the Q auto from Azir, that little bit of damage, especially when it's going to be Ludens plus Comet, you know, does chunk you down a lot. So if you don't feel that you can actually stay safe and stay in there without the sustain, then sometimes going the more defensive option can actually result in higher DPS during the fights because you're allowed to position more aggressively than you otherwise would be with the Kraken Slayer or something like that.
Exactly. You're not getting any DPS if you're at such a far range because of the threat from your opponent, right? So that's what you're itemizing for, the ability to have that comfort to get closer range. Now, up here on the top side, it's Revenge with that target on his back all game long.
Man, this is so unfun to deal with. Just constantly the jungler showing up top. Xerxes really hasn't been there for him pretty much at all. You know, the only backup he's gotten is the TP from Insanity. They're trying to play bot side and just punish Tomo.
Oh, Tomo is just getting mollywopped this game.
Yeah, I mean, they got that 2v2 kill right early. But besides that, they have been getting it over and over again from Xerxes. He's been down to that bot lane, punishing him. And it's all 3 kills on the Aphelios. That is such a big deal. You know, these two teams clearly trying to play through different points of power. FlyQuest trying to snowball through the top side. They've gotten multiple towers, so they've gotten a lot. You know, they are 3,000 gold ahead. The Varus, though, is getting put down, and the Aphelios is going to be in a position to potentially carry the game. So when you're in a spot like this, it becomes kind of the battle of the two sides, right? And you have to see who makes good on the resources you put in. Because you let your other side get behind by putting all your resources to one end of the map. So Kumo and NXI, you got to get work done in the team fights. And for Immortals, it's really all about Raze.
And We know that Aphelios is one of those 1v9 style champions. If he's ahead enough, all you have to do is make sure that your body is in the way of his if a skill shot's flying towards him, and he'll take care of the rest, right?
Get down!
Yeah, everybody protect the president. That's the name of the game. Ray's feeling great about his current state of the game right now. Third Drake is spawning. It will be a Cloud Soul this time around. FlyQuest have a 2-0 Drake lead. Immortals are setting up position here in the bottom side river. They're willing to fight for this.
Yeah, it looks like this is where they are going to mark that line in the sand here, try to take one for themselves. Kumo pretty slow to the play. It's just going to get burst down potentially.
Oh, they try to go in for the steal. NXI will not find it. Insanity wants to run away. He's almost killed, and Diamond ends up getting it. FlyQuest, they will lose the Drake, but they take down the enemy mid.
Yeah, FlyQuest pretty slow to the play. A bit disappointing. They'll see if they can get revenge. They should be able to get this tier 2 tower at the very least.
Oh, the pull comes through. There's the shuffle. Soldiers following it up, and Tomo with the piercing arrow gives Revenge his third death of this game.
Yeah, they did get that dragon. They lose that. They're a bit slow to the play, but they got a lot off the back of it. They get a tier 2 tower. They're now dropping the Rift Herald bots. They're going to get a tier 1. Probably be able to even push it in for that second charge on the tier 2. Maybe just take 2 straight up towers in the bot lane as well. I mean, Revenge is still dead. They have to be worried about TP flanks. There's a lot of wards available here. You look on the minimap, you know, this whole area is lit up with the deep TP wards. So we'll see if Immortals wants to commit to a long chase. Yeah, they're going to go for it.
All right, here it is. FlyQuest having to try to get away now. Diamond's going to be targeted, focused down, but it's Xerxes who dies first. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Kumo having possessed the enemy volley bear, ready to go. He's over the wall, but he finds Revenge waiting for him. However, the Akali is way too weak at this point to really get a lot done. She's looking for Tomo. Revenge trying to find the chance to go in, but he just can't do it. The skill shots fly out, and Revenge goes home.
Yeah, the double TP plate does come through, but they only kill Diamond, so not really that good. I like the attempt, though. Exactly. You know, I like the attempt for Immortals. You are very far behind. They have been out on the map for a long time, so you're going to have better buys. You're going to have, you know, comparatively the best situation you can find. So they go for the double TP. They just don't get much, unfortunately for them. And their chances in this game are getting more and more slim as FlyQuest just continues to extend this gold lead.
So is there anything that particularly comes to mind for you besides just playing around Aphelios for Immortals to be able to find victories in this game? Because we're looking at the replay right now, FlyQuest just seems to be on point in the team fights.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, FlyQuest is just way stronger at this point in the game. I think for Immortals, you have got to be able to find odd number fights, right? So, oh, we're going to have another fight here, though.
We're already ready to go. NXI's on a killing spree. Insanity dead at the very start of the fight. Xerxes with the flash over the wall. Kumo's ready to follow here with the ulti, using it just for the gap close, but not for the damage. Goes in for the Spectral Maw. Xerxes pulled to safety here with a Lantern as Triple is ready to follow up, but nobody else is nearby, so he cannot go forward. 1-0, FlyQuest.
Yeah, I mean, because they're losing their jungle, you can't just say turtle up and farm it out because you're actually going to get more and more behind. So they need to look for these odd number fights. They need to be in a position where, you know, you send your Akali or the Sylas down a side lane, and Xerxes is actually shadowing them, waiting for that potential 1v1 to be taken. Try to set up plays like that, or send double solo laners down a side lane and try to set up a 2v1 situation where you can get a kill, buy yourself some time, force FlyQuest back to their side of the map. But FlyQuest right now, I mean, they're kind of just hitting them with the Goon Squad. They're walking around, they're taking over the enemy jungle, they're getting their wards down. I mean, just look at all this vision over here that is actually in this side of the map, right? It looks as though it's FlyQuest's side, right? They have so many wards, this whole area. You can guess where they're going to go next. It's going to be the Baron Pit. They want to set up to actually pressure the Baron now.
And when you have champions like Azir and like Viego that already has Blade of the Ruined King, that's what I was about to say. You do it so quickly. These champions have a lot of good Baron damage. They're rotating over to it right now with the rest of their squad. Immortals has to know that something is up here. They will approach. Blitzcrank goes for the pull, but he doesn't find it. FlyQuest staying on the Baron. Immortals don't have everybody here yet. Let's see if they can manage to get this. 1400, there it goes. Baron over to FlyQuest 20 minutes in.
Nicely done. I mean, if Immortal goes into the pit, they can just turn on him pretty easily. It's very difficult as well with Diamond kind of playing bodyguard in that position. But Immortals aren't even able to get in the pit. Revenge was on a reset, so he wouldn't have even been there. And Xerxes, I mean, he could have tried to ult in, but pretty much ulting in for a one-way trip maybe it would have been worth it at this stage. It's hard to say, but with that Baron going over, now a 7,000 gold lead here. Immortals getting crushed by this new FlyQuest roster. Next Dragon is going to be up in 30, and they'll be looking.
And that new roster, man, this is so cool to see. Remember, this is a team, an org, that was on a 10-game loss streak, and they are now 7,000 gold on the way to having a 3-0 week. How cool is that for FlyQuest, man? Incredible stuff for this Academy roster coming up, replacing the entire squad. That doesn't happen too often. Just switch out the whole roster, and they are just absolutely lighting up the LCS stage.
And I've just been loving seeing some of these new players actually coming into the league and showing that they can compete with the LCS rosters. I do think it forces more organizations to take a hard look at what they are doing with amateur versus pro, to more closely examine just how good some of these academy players are, figure out, where they can invest, who would be a good fit for them. And I think that is something that can push the development and the improvement of the league.
Yeah, less stupid tweets about imports, more stupid tweets about Academy. Let's go!
Exactly.
That's what I want to see. Now,
I was getting worried. I thought you were going to take away my stupid tweets, which I could not abide
Hey,
by.
this is me, man. I thrive on the stupid tweets.
That's our whole brand, Flowers.
That's all we do, dude.
We don't have anything
games,
else.
And then we tweet dumb garbage on the internet. That's what it's all about. FlyQuest, though, their game is about breaking into the base. Insanity's not here. He's trying to get whatever they can. They're saying, all right, they have Baron. We can't try to fight them and defend that inhibitor, get whatever we can back. And unfortunately for Immortals, all they can get back is a tier 1 turret in the top lane.
Yep. Not a lot when you're giving that over, but sometimes those small wins is the best you can hope for, right? What is Silas going to do from that situation? They can't 5v5, and you need to be able to push forward aggressively to actually stop the siege. So, yes, it's a loss, but it's a smaller one than they would have accrued had he just been sitting in base. So I don't mind it whatsoever, but that being said, the advantage continues to extend. Nearly 8,000 gold at this point. Soul Point, that is going to be available for them in 3.5 or so. And while Cloud, I don't think is that amazing, honestly, for their team comp.
No.
It's still advantageous to have the move speed, to be able to kite out, to be able to have the shorter ultimate cooldowns. Can be useful.
Yeah, I mean, I generally like Cloud Soul more on compositions that feel like heavily stacked with bruisers and brawlers. And
less move get.
Yeah, champions, like a Volley Bear, for instance, I think Cloud is great on, right? You ult in, you're super fast. Yeah, all of these things. And there's not really much of that on FlyQuest, but still, 10% move speeds, 10% move speed. Champions get hit with a 5 move speed nerf, and it just breaks their legs.
$5 is $5.
Yep.
Take what you can get.
Exactly. And FlyQuest are looking to take the whole base if they can get it. Tomo throws out the chains of corruption. Diamond goes in for the pull, and there it is. Alley-oop. Diamond goes down. Ray's unstoppable with a nice counter kill. Here in the mid lane, we got Kumo and Revenge going head-to-head. Revenge goes in, but a nice hook over the wall. Destiny shuts down the Ruined King.
That's the kind of playmaking you need to dig yourself out of a hole here. Revenge going aggressive. And he would have had Kumo dead to rights with the R2 coming through. So Kumo flashes that, but he flashes in a direction that the rest of the team can follow up. Big plays there. Yes, Xerxes does go down to the flash hook from Diamond, but he dies for it. They lose their top laner, and this buys them a little bit of time to try to scrape together some gold.
And now Revenge obviously Revenge has a little bit of confidence here. He knows that even though he's behind, he knows how to play his champion. He knows his limits. Going for the outplay there against the enemy top laner. Let's take another look at how this happened up here.
Yep, Varus ulti, flash hook to follow that up. They get that immediate kill, but Aphelios' return damage was so high. Then on the bottom side here, Revenge, just a really nice setup. It's the R1 into the immediate E, takes the E, has the passive auto. The R2 plus the Ignite would have actually killed him off had that connected. So that's just a clean combo. I mean, that's a 1-item Akali. About to 100 to 0, a 2.5-item Viego. That shows you some of the power that a perfectly executed combo from Akali will give you. Plus, Ignite late game still does have a lot of value there. But Kumo flashes away, only to give that kill over to somebody else.
All right, FlyQuest, let's see if they can keep this momentum going. Gold lead has shrunk here a little bit with that shutdown there as they got the return kill. Trading 1 for 1 when you are behind is always a good thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You're
and they
trading
traded 1 for 2.
Yeah, So being able to get that extra on top of answering the play in the top side that, hey, FlyQuest had to use a flash to get, right? Really good stuff there from Immortals, trying to hold on, but FlyQuest still have a massive advantage in this game. I don't want to downplay that. They will continue pressuring both of the lanes that still have the inhibitor turrets standing while the super minions do their work there in bottom. 55 seconds, and the dragon will spawn. As you already pointed out, this one is sold.
Yep, but it's all eggs in the Raze basket. He's got 5 kills of the 7 they have. He's got 3.5 items, so he is big. And there is always that possibility. You know, you're playing against a lot of short-range champions here. If you can cleave him up with the Infernum, burst him down, maybe you can turn something around, but it's going to take some incredible play here from Immortals to be able to find anything, and they're just trying to pressure the map, split Immortals apart, make them make difficult situations, difficult decisions. And they don't even need to go for Soul, remember, because Baron is up here in 2. They're just going to start up the Baron and force Immortals out of the base, force them to take a 5v5 on the map, or maybe even just give us up for free. It's been spotted now, but look how far Insanity is. He's going to TP.
Look at how fast it's dropping, though. Already down to 4K. Xerxes gets hit by the Chains of Corruption. They're able to finish the Baron. Take this one down, easy peasy. Diamond dies for it. Xerxes very, very low. Goes back to smite the crab for a little bit of extra HP. Immortals, they get a kill, but they lose the Baron for the second time this game.
Oh, it's TP to top side. See, they want to keep pressing. They want to try to go for more here. They're trying to stop the bases while Kumo gets towards the top side and knock down another inhibitor tower here. Immortals, they don't have the Baron recall, so it's tough for them to get back. Tomo as well as Triple are trying to keep people occupied. He's got to back up now, knowing people have gotten back to base. Immortals may want to go for the chase, but guess what else this did? It exposed the dragon.
Oh, and here we go. They try to get him to safety here with a lantern. Destiny stays alive, but NXI goes deep behind enemy lines. They grab that first kill. Revenge wants to get one in return. They're going to be able to take down that enemy jungler, but now with Revenge in a bad spot, he has to get over the wall, but he cannot do it. Double kill for Triple, and now with 3 enemy players dead, it's time for the FlyQuest Wrecking Ball to find the Immortals bait.
Yeah, strong as Raze in. They're pushing in on all sides. They wouldn't give him the fight that he wanted. 3 inhibs down, Baron buff here. FlyQuest looking to close it out.
Here we go, Nexus turret number 1, goodbye. Enemy jungler, goodbye. Immortals, goodbye. FlyQuest making this one look good. Ray's gonna be terminated. Shut down on the enemy AD carry, goes over to the top laner, and FlyQuest from a 10-game loss streak to a perfect week. Put some respect on those boys' names. Let's go.
It doesn't even take any quick math to figure that one out. They are looking good this weekend, Flowers. Cracking the losing streak, as you said, and looking dominant in a lot of these games. The Immortals have been playing well, and FlyQuest just slapped them upside the head. They're crushing them in this game. Relentless aggression on the top side. Kumo and NXI punishing Revenge so heavily. And despite the fact that Immortals were getting work done on the bottom side of the map, they were getting some kills back, getting their Aphelios to a strong point. He was never really an important part of the game because FlyQuest avoided him. They took all the objectives. They pressured the towers. They split the map whenever Aphelios was looking for a fight. And they just played this game out very, very intelligently.
You love to see it, man. I am so excited about this roster coming up from Academy, getting themselves into a spot where they now have the opportunity to prove themselves against the big competition in North America on the LCS stage. And damn, they are doing it.
I think they're trying to give the LCS teams an opportunity to prove themselves against them. They are the competition. They're undefeated.
I mean, you always see those conversations on social media. Well, I think X team would probably lose to one of the top Academy teams. I think one of the top Academy teams is probably just bopping everybody. It doesn't matter who.
Oh, man, it's been really fun to see. It's a reinvigorated FlyQuest. The bottom of the table got so much more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
FlyQuest and Golden Guardians, really exciting this weekend. Has been a lot of fun to watch, and nobody at the top of the standings is safe.
I love that chaotic state of things here in the LCS. We're taking a quick breather, but after the break, Tigris will be back to talk to one of the victorious players in our post-game interview.
Lion! Ah, yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a Red Bull.
Red Bull? Still, you'll never be faster than a lion.
I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just faster than you.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah. All of my life, man, they counted me out. Not many people are doubting me now. Even some legends are shouting me out. I promise there's nobody stopping me now. My haters look angry, I'm popping. My name will never be forgotten. Running this game, I ain't jogging. Opponents know that I'm a problem. Ay, always considered the underdog. That is just crazy talk. Don't you be sleeping on me. Promise my skill isn't under y'all. I win the one-on-one win is the reason I breathe. No one believed in my vision, but my vision crystal clear from the beginning I've seen. My competition can't handle me. Greatest of all time, I am just destined to be. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage, I'll amaze again. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage, I'll amaze again. These days I feel like the champion. My winning streak only just begun. Facing my fears, I don't ever run. Always been driven to get what I want. Guaranteed one day I'll be the GOAT. Never had much, but I always had hope. Moving so fast and I don't plan to slow. If I'm in the game, then I have control. Always considered the underdog. That is just crazy talk. Don't you be sleeping on me. Promise my skill isn't under y'all. I win the one-on-one win is the reason I breathe. No one believed in my vision, but my vision crystal clear from the beginning I've seen. My competition can't handle me. Greatest of all time, I am just destined to be. My competition can't handle me, no. My competition can't handle me, no. My competition can't handle me. Greatest of all time, I am just destined to be. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage, I'll amaze again. I came to win. They all know that I came to win. I came to win. Step on the stage, I'll amaze again.
Welcome back to the LCS, everybody. Following not just a 3-0 week for FlyQuest, but a 7-0 week for the top laner Kumo here. We got none other than Kumo to speak to. So tell me about the marathon run that you had to take this week.
Yeah, I mean, it was like pretty sudden, you know? Like Eric suddenly had to leave and then I had to play in both matches because, I mean, we didn't have another top laner. So yeah, it's been a long week, but I'm glad. I mean, I won every single game, so it feels really good.
And it's been great seeing you back here on the LCS stage. Last time we saw you on the EG side, it felt like you were a different player, kind of going more towards the tanks, and now we've seen you really expand that pool during your time in Academy. Can you tell me about your evolution as a player and what you have learned during this time?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been working really hard on myself, like learning how to pretty much do everything in the game, and I think I've reached a point where I can like do everything well, I hope. So it just feels really good that my hard work is paying off, I guess.
And the FlyQuest roster has changed, but in the way that the whole entire Academy roster has now become the LCS roster, when we see so many things switching around the LCS, you're just facing off against IMT who have their same squad, but do you feel that it is an advantage that you all came through as a 5-player unit as opposed to switching out individual players?
Yeah, I'll definitely say so, because I mean, we've been playing for a while, so the built-up synergy is definitely there. And if we have like, you know, different players, it'll be a lot different with like how communication goes, at least in game. So I think, yeah, it's definitely an advantage to have all 5.
When it comes to that communication, who is the loudest voice and the ones making the calls?
In our team, it's usually me or Diamond. I'm really vocal if I'm really ahead in the game, but also Diamond is just vocal all the time, which is pretty helpful as well. So I would say it's us.
A lot of standout individual performances from you all across the board, but I do want to make note about NXI and the way you two are playing together. Do you feel that you have a strong synergy kind of as that top side unit?
Yeah, I think so. I think Zen knows where to be there, and he really listens to his laners under conditions, and he always follows through. So it feels nice to have someone like that.
Sweet.
No.
Now, last thing for you. You are the FlyQuest representative here after a 3-0 week. Any words you would like to say to the FlyQuest fans that have been following you on the journey?
Yeah, hopefully we can make the miracle run and go to Worlds. Yeah.
Miracle run, baby. Thank you so much for joining me here on the stage after your victory.
Thank you.
We do have more LCS to come. On the opposite side of this break, 100 Thieves are facing off against TSM, a matchup you do not want to miss. Catch it.